conference in Sydney.
The Gauci family for making Isabelle White our candidate for Chifley and myself so welcome. This is a great family business. It's been here on this spot for more than 50 years now. It's had good times and not so good times, but what the Gauci family and their customers don't deserve is a government which is out of touch with small business. And what we've seen after the reshuffle yesterday is that we've got the 5th small business minister in just 15 months. Unfortunately, Labor just doesn't get it when it comes to small business. If they did get it, they would never have saddled us with a carbon tax. They would never have appointed as small business ministers people who know a lot more about unions and big business than they do about the struggles of running a business like this. Now, I want to assure the people of Australia that the Coalition has a plan. I want to say to the people of Australia that we are on your side. We understand your life and we want to make your life easier. That's why we will cut the carbon tax. It's gone. We will cut red tape. There'll be a bonfire of the regulations. Here in Sydney, we will build WestConnex. In Melbourne, we will build the East-West Link. In Brisbane, we will build the Gateway Motorway extension, because we want to take the pressure off your cost of living. We want to take the pressure off your job security, and we want to make it easier for you to get around the cities and towns where you live. That's what we want to do. That's what our Real Solutions plan is all about. Now, we had the reshuffle yesterday. We've now got a succession of L-plate ministers grappling with the coming budget. Less than 50 days to the coming budget, and this is a government which needs to get its $300 billion worth of debt under control. And they've got to get debt under control by eliminating unnecessary government spending, not by raiding people's superannuation savings, not by attacking the superannuation piggy bank. And yet that is what this government is planning to do. How do we know? We know because Simon Crean, until last week, a senior minister, still Labor's elder statesman, says hands off the nation's superannuation savings. And Julia Gillard has got to heed that advice. She should also heed Simon Crean and Martin Ferguson's advice: end the class war, understand that the Australian people want to see unity. They want to see a government which is bringing people together. They don't want to see a government which practices the politics of them and us. So what I want to say to every Australian is, I respect you, I value the contribution that you are making to our country, and I want to run a government which is focused on you and not on itself. And that's what will happen after the next election if you should entrust me and my colleagues with the government of this great country. Now, obviously, Isabelle White is one of our candidates. Chifley is one of these seats in Western Sydney where the Liberal Party has a real chance of victory, because the people of Western Sydney are sick of a government which takes them for granted. They're sick of a Labor Party which has taken them for granted for too long. I think the people of Western Sydney are looking for change, and Isabelle White is just the right person to give them change for the better. So I'm going to ask Isabelle to say a few words before taking some questions.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank Tony Abbott for coming out to Chifley today. It's been a great pleasure for us to have you here, Mr Abbott. And the Gauci family are just one example of many small business owners in the area who are struggling at the moment due to uncertainty. And look, if we are elected, we will get rid of the carbon tax, we'll remove the red tape, and quite frankly, small businesses such as the Minchinbury fruit market deserve a lot better.
Thanks, Isabelle. Okay, do we have any questions?
Yes, we are in the city.
Yes.
Do you think now that the coalition will move towards putting more resources and potentially taking away some of the safe haven seats?
Well, I'm here because we don't take the people of Chifley for granted. I'm here because we think that the people of Chifley like the people right around our country, want a government which is focused on them. The people of Australia want a government which is focused on them and their interests and their concerns, not a government which is just focused on its own survival.
Do you think they can look at any Western Sydney seats as safe now?
I think the coalition is very eager to let the people of Western Sydney know that we are focused on them. If I can directly address the people of Western Sydney, we are here with you in a way that this government never is. I am here now at one of the very well-known small businesses in Western Sydney. This business, the Minchinbury Fruit Market, it won the award, the best greengrocer in Sydney in 2011. I am here with you at this business. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister spent most of her time holed up at the Novotel when she was here lately.
Mr. Abbott, how important do you think it is that coalition MPs don't get too overconfident in some of their latest news?
We are working as hard as we humanly can every day to hold a bad government to account and to convince the Australian people that there is a strong and credible alternative. We'll be working very hard every day. We'll be taking absolutely nothing for granted. Kylie Gauchi, silver medal winning Paralympian, she took nothing for granted, and we'll be taking nothing for granted. We know that winning an election from opposition is like climbing Mount Everest. The Labor Party are hopeless at government, but they are brilliant at low politics, and that's why we'll be working hard every single day between now and the election. I don't think people are really that interested in the polls. I think what they want is a plan. And we have a plan for the people of Australia. All the Prime Minister has is a plan for her own survival. It was a terrible tragedy that we saw off Christmas Island yesterday. As long as the boats keep coming, the tragedies will keep happening. The only way to end the tragedies is to stop the boats, and every time the Prime Minister invokes her Malaysia people swap, she's basically looking for an excuse to do nothing. She's looking for an excuse to do nothing because the Malaysia people swap involves just 800 people, and just at the moment we're getting 800 people in a week.
Can I take you back to the government?
Yeah.
They've merged the climate change department into the industry department. Does that wipe out or get rid of potential savings that the coalition had in mind?
No, it doesn't, and it shows just how utterly inept this government is, that just a few months ago they signed a 10-year lease on a building for $158 million for a department that they've now merged with another department. It just goes to show that you can't trust these people with money.
Just on the direct action policy that you guys have put in place, any costs on that, any ideas of?
Our policy will cost what we commit to it in the policy that we will announce before the election. We will spend no more and no less on reducing emissions than we allocate. And the amount that we allocated in the last election was $3.2 billion over 4 years.
How many public services would that involve?
Well, we think that our emissions reduction policies can be administered by the Department of the Environment in the normal way.
Labor is now likely to focus on coalition policy. Are you prepared for that?
Well, I'm very proud of the policy commitments that we've already made, and I would urge people to look at the Real Solutions plan that we released a few weeks ago and that we are now taking to the people of Australia right around our country, including in electorates like Chifley. Now, every time the government hyperventilates about the opposition, demonstrates that they have no plans of their own, no real values or principles of their own. Only a bad government obsesses about the opposition.
You just said that there will be a bonfire of regulations. Are you concerned that that will renew the negativity focus of coalition?
I think it's a very positive thing to reduce red tape. A very, very positive thing to reduce red tape, and one of the places where we'll start is having a one-stop shop for environmental approvals, because we do need investment, we do need jobs, and at the moment many major projects are bedeviled by the fact that the approvals process takes so long and costs so much, and there's double jeopardy environmental approvals at the moment. The government promised that it would do something about it. It hasn't. In fact, it's making a bad situation worse every day, and we will provide a genuine one-stop shop for approval of major projects.
We've just had an announcement by Stephen Smith about the drawdown in Afghanistan. Is this good news?
We support the commitment to Afghanistan. We've always said that it should end when the mission has been substantially accomplished. We are happy to rely on the professional judgment of the military chiefs as to when that can take place, and we accept that the sooner we can bring our troops home, the better, once the job has been done.